Hello there, friends. It's July, which means Christmas in July has begun over at Spellbinders, and their club kits this month definitely reflect that. There are beautiful dies, stamps, stencils, and so much more that I am so excited to share with you in this video, along with all of the cards that I created. Today is the first day that you can start a new club subscription. So if you've always wanted to check one out, it's really easy to choose your club, sign up, and you can cancel at any time as long as you do so before your next kit ships. Now let's get right into these amazing club kits. The first club that I'm going to share with you is the Large Die of the Month Club, and wow, is this large. It is so much fun, you guys. This one's called Mugs and Mittens. So what you have here is your mug. Then you have some sleeves and 3 different dies to create your mittens. You also have mitten cuffs here, and you have a sweater cuff here. So if you tuck your mittens into your sweater sleeves, you only need this cuff. If you use these on their own, you use these 2 cuffs. Now the other things go along with your cocoa cup. So there's your cup. You can put a Santa face inside the cup. You can put a snowflake in the cup. You can put a snowman. He's got a little hat and his nose here. A snowman in your cocoa cup. And then you have these little squiggly lines that create the steam coming out of your cup. So you can cut those with vellum to give it kind of a steamy look. The sentiment here says warm cocoa wishes, which I think is really cute. There are lots of little accessories. You have a hat for your Santa. You have his face, so you can build your Santa here. You have arms, your hat, and nose for the snowman. So it's a really nice sized die set. So the first card that I created that really shows off this amazing die set, especially named Mugs and Mittens, is this one. So you have your cocoa mug here with a snowflake in the center. I did red sleeves and teal mittens, and I love that color combination of the pink, teal, and red. I placed this on a background that I created with the Glimmer of the Month. Can you see those amazing snowflakes? I did those in silver on this one, and I just love that background. I think it's so pretty. Now you can see here at the top that I did create that steam coming out of the mug using some vellum. And then right in the middle of that, I added Wishing You Winter Magic in Every Sip using the Stamp and Die of the Month Club, which I will share in a little bit. But how fun is this amazing die set? You're going to be seeing me showing off these little elements like the Santa and the snowman all throughout my cards. So I'll be sure to call that out. But this is the one that I created first and that I just love. The next club that I have to show you is the Die of the Month, and this is often my favorite club each and every month. This one is so fun. This one is called Cocoa Greetings, and if you can't tell by the dies, it creates cocoa cups with little faces. So you have a penguin, a deer, and a Santa Claus. See his big beard there? You have Santa's mustache, the deer ears. This is the topper. So this is the foam. You can have cold foam or hot foam. And this creates the fun foam on their heads. This is the top of Santa's head. So you have his like cuff on top of his head. You have a scarf. Here's the cup handle right here. This is 2 parts. So you have the base and then you have the stripes, which I think is a really great detail. You have the breast for your penguin and your deer. These are little accent pieces, like so for cheeks, eyes, there's a little heart there, the center of the deer's ears. then you have a snowflake, and then you have another accent piece here for Santa's buttons, noses, the penguin's beak, and that sort of thing. So this one is really easy to put together, and I love the fact that it creates 3 different elements. So you can have, the penguin, the deer, and the Santa. So the first card that I created with this one, I had to do the Santa because I just think he is so cute. I loved him in those traditional colors. I did a little bit of, like a brownish foam, so it's more like a latte, I guess, maybe with a little bit of cinnamon on it. I gave him his red suit, but had to add a little bit of green on there on the handle. I also put that cute candy cane there at the top. The candy cane is included with the handle, so those come together so you can cut those in the same color. And then I accented this with a few hearts, which I think are really cute. I didn't even add any gems because I thought it was just adorable. I added sending you cozy hugs and cocoa kisses, which is another stamp of the month sentiment. I place this on the embossing folder of the month background, so I'll be sharing that in a little bit, but these guys are just standalone perfect for putting on a card front. There really isn't much more that you have to do once you put them together. Just add a little pattern to that background. I love this cute Santa, but you're going to be seeing the deer and the penguin on some of my upcoming cards too. Okay, so now let's talk about the Deluxe Caboodle Club. So subscribing to the Deluxe Caboodle means that you receive all of the clubs and you get a significant discount when you do so. And since all of the clubs work together so beautifully, it creates just this amazing package. Like I had to show you all of these cards where I mix and match things. So when you get the Deluxe Caboodle Club, you get a free gift every single month. And this month's free gift is this sweet little extra die set called Ginger Sip. So this works with the Die of the Month Club in that it's the same size. So you have a little gingerbread man or woman, and you can cut off the top of his head and create a sipper, just like you did with these guys over here in the die of the month. So this little die here just cuts off the top of his head so that you can add your foam to the top, then you can add your handle to the side. Or you can use him as a standalone, which I really like that option of being able to use it as a standalone. So for this little guy, you have his little icing accents that go on his hands and feet. You have his cheeks here, and you have that cut line there for the top of his head. To back his buttons and eyes, I just put rectangles of cardstock on the back side of this die cut. So let me show you this cute little card that I used, that I created with him. I just thought he was the cutest. I didn't want to create a cup this time. I just wanted to make him a little cookie. I ink blended along the edges to give him that just baked look. I backed his buttons and his mouth with red cardstock, gave him pink little cheeks, and he's holding a red and white striped candy cane, which I cut from the die of the month. To make him stand out from the background, I used the Notch Corner Frames dies. I really love these dies because of that edge detail, that corner detail. I think it looks really nice. And I backed his panel with a panel of cardstock that I ran through the BetterPress of the month. So you can see that pattern there. We're going to be talking about that in a minute, but I just think that is a really nice pattern. And I love that, that dark green on pale green. I just thought it was really pretty. Then I used the stamp of the month, the stamp and die of the month, to add the Merry Christmas sentiment. So this is a really simple card, but I just think it is so cute. And I love the way that that shape really elevates this card. So be sure to check out that Deluxe Caboodle Club because It is such an amazing value. If you love all of the clubs that I'm sharing this month, I would highly recommend trying that subscription out. The next club that I have to share with you is the stitching die of the month, and this one's called Frosted Stitch. It is really gorgeous. Here you have the outline that cuts out that outline shape, and then your stitching die goes right in the center. There are 12 different panels to stitch, so you have different starburst designs to stitch, and the other 6 are snowflake designs that cut out. It's a really, really gorgeous background. Even if you decide not to stitch it, it would still be gorgeous, but take a look at this stitched. Isn't that stunning? Now, I love that sunburst or starburst design because I think it's really easy to stitch. I like going back through that center hole every time. I just think if you're new to stitching on paper, I think this is a really easy one for you to learn on. And it took me about an hour to do this while I was watching TV, so I didn't really waste any time there. I adhered this onto a red background and then added that cute little Santa from the large die of the month. Now he was the Santa that could be placed inside your cocoa cup, but look how cute he is on this background. I think he is the cutest Santa ever. I added a few pink gemstones here to the center of those snowflakes, and then the Merry Christmas sentiment that I stamped using the stamp and cut with the die that coordinates with the stamp. I really love this simple card, but I think whoever received this would be completely wowed by this one. So that is the stitching die of the month. The next club that is one that I think everybody needs when you get these club kits is the clear stamp and die of the month. So you can get the clear stamp on its own, or you can add the die in a different club. So you can get the clear stamp or the clear stamp and die of the month. I highly recommend getting the die because you can cut out all of those stamped images and just get a lot more use out of them. So here we have the stamp. The sentiments included are a cup of cheer just for you, sending a dash of magic, stay warm and sip happily, sending frosty hugs your way, wishing you winter magic in every sip, stay snuggly, winter cheers, Merry Christmas, sending you cozy hugs and cocoa kisses, and then you have your snowflakes and sparkles, which I love the fact that they added those because then you can use those as accents. Here are all the coordinating dies here. For the sentiments at the bottom, the Stay Snuggly, Winter Cheers, and Merry Christmas, you can use this strip die to cut those out. So you can see me using this on pretty much all of my cards this month, all the ones I've already shared, and more to come. But I really love the sentiments included. I also love those snowflakes, and you'll see me use those in just a minute. Okay, so now let's get into some of those backgrounds that you've already seen me use on my cards. This is the stencil of the month, and it's called Warm and Woven. So you have a 4-step stencil here and a standalone stencil here. So this is like the woven part. This is your sweater kind of detail. It also looks like hearts on the background. This is a really simple one. I love this one. If you're new to stenciling, then ink blending with a stencil, this is a really good one to start out with. Then you have this 4-part stencil, and this creates your Fair Isle sweater design. So you have the crosses and the zigzag lines. You have more zigzag lines and more crosses here. Then you have your stars, okay? So let me show you the cards that I created with these. With the simple stencil, which is this one here, I started out with this one to create a pretty and pink card using that cute little reindeer cocoa cup. So you can see here I kept it really simple and just did a gradient pink going down. So I did light, medium to the dark pink using that sweater stencil. Then I topped that with a circle die cut from one of my favorite like essential circle dies, and that is the Everlasting Circle die. So I added that in light pink, and that just helps my deer to stand out from that background a bit, or else he would have gotten a bit lost. So I cut him out of pink and red, just made him or her really, really cute. Added the Stay Warm and Sip Happily sentiment right on top, and then a few pink gemstones. This is a really, really cute card for any little girl who loves pink. Then for my Fair Isle sweater design, I really love this one. I went with 4 different colors. So I did a light teal, a dark tealy green, a pink, and a red for this one to make that really Christmassy background. I added the mittens from the large die of the month here. This time I added them without the sleeves, and I think they look really cute nestled together. I added a bow from another die set. It's one from a Lisa Horton die set that I had on hand that I really love. I'll be sure to link that in the video description. I added that bow right next to the sentiment, and it says Stay Snugly, which I think is perfect for the sweater stencil background. I love both of these cards. I think the stencil is such a great value. And if you love, ink blending on stencils, this is definitely a great club to check out. Okay, the next background to share with you is the BetterPress of the month. This one's called Festive Press. It's very festive. It has like a geometric background. It almost looks knitted. It's really, really cool. You have this entire A2 background. Then you have holiday cheer and cozy wishes sentiments along with a strip sentiment die. So I did this. Now with the BetterPress, you can do this on the BetterPress platform and on the Glimmer to foil it. And that's what I love about the BetterPress, is that you can do double duty with this one. So the first card I created, I used the BetterPress and French blue ink with the BetterPress paper, which gives you a really nice indentation. So it has a lot of texture to it. I really love this simple card. I just think the combination is perfect. That blue background with the little red accents. I added my cute little snowman from the large die of the month, and funny enough, I used this circle from the inside of the cup in the large die of the month, and that created the perfect little place for him to sit. Then I added the sentiment Winter Cheers right below him. This is one of those cards that you could recreate over and over again for, making a dozen for your Christmas cards, and it would be so simple to do. Love that one. Then I used this Glimmer. This is probably my new favorite Glimmer foil. It's Satin Pewter. Just take a look at that. It's not gold, it's not silver. This pewter color is totally so neutral. And for this background, I placed it on Fog cardstock, which I love, that light kind of French gray color. But look at how gorgeous that background is. I can't wait to use it to create a card, and I'll probably keep it pretty simple because I don't want to cover up much of this gorgeous foiled background. So whether you use the BetterPress with the BetterPress platform or with the Glimmer platform, I think you are going to love this club. The next club to share with you is the Glimmer of the month. This one is called Arctic Glimmer. So pretty because it is not just one size snowflake. You have a huge snowflake here and then lots of different size snowflakes around it. I just think this one's really pretty. You can only use this in your Glimmer platform, or you can emboss with it too. So I used it here with my Glimmer, and this time I used that cobalt blue foil. Can you see that beautiful blue foil? I love using colored foil, and it's something that I don't do as often as I should, so decided to do it here. I used one of my favorite die sets to cut that out, the Essential Arches, to put it on that blue background panel. The sentiments here are sending winter hugs, which you can see here. Also did that with blue, and let it snow. So I topped this beautiful Glimmer background with my cute little penguin cup from the die of the month, and I added some pinkish purple accents with the scarf and the cup handle there. And then I added some of those blue gems to the center of all of the snowflakes. Another simple card, and you know, the Glimmer makes it really easy to replicate those backgrounds again and again. Once you have this warmed up, you just keep adding foil and keep running it through your Platinum 6 to create, you know, those backgrounds over and over again. So a great way to create some gorgeous Christmas cards that are easily reproducible. Here you can see this background in silver on fog cardstock. Now here you can see that something shifted on my machine and I got this design crooked, but I'm just going to use a die, maybe a circle die, or maybe like an emerald die, and cut that out so that I can use this on a background. But it looks really beautiful in silver on fog cardstock too. The embossing folder of the month, one of my favorite clubs, is called Nordic Noel. Again, you have that kind of sweater design, that Nordic design. Super cool when you see it on paper. So let me show you what I created with this one. I love it white on white. Look at that beautiful design. You have those poinsettias, the diamond shapes in the background. It's like an argyle sweater, and I just love it. So on this card, I also added the wax seal of the month. And this month's wax seal is called Arctic Knit. So this design pairs perfectly with that embossing folder to create a square wax seal. And the easiest way for you to do a square is just to lay out your wax in a square shape and then press it down. You'll still get those rounded edges, but it comes out, you know, more of a square shape there. I added snowflakes that I stamped and die cut from the Stamp and Die of the Month Club, as well as the Sending Frosty Hugs Your Way sentiment. For this one, I also used that Lisa Horton bow that I will link in the video description. And the wax beads this time were Candy Apple, which is a color that I have not used before, but I really love for Christmas cards. So that is the embossing folder of the month and the wax seal of the month. The final club that I have to share with you is the 3D embossing folder of the month. This one's called Starry Snowfall. So you have your stars and you have your snowflakes. This one is really beautiful because of that circle design. Take a look at this one. Those circles are really puffed up here, which gives it that 3D quality. I wanted to create a really soft and pretty card with this one. So I embossed this, and this paper is Breeze, which I think is just a gorgeous color. I used Breeze here, then I used the snowflakes from the Stamp and Die of the Month, added those there, some of those were popped up, and then the Let It Snow sentiment from the Glimmer of the Month, which I glimmered with silver foil. Then I added some pearls kind of falling down with those snowflakes. This is just one of those cards that's really simple and easy to put together, but it's just a stunning card. So that is the 3D embossing folder of the month. If you are ready for Christmas, you are going to have so much fun with the Spellbinders club kits this month, my friends. I think you are going to love creating those Christmas in July cards with these clubs, and I hope you loved what I've shared with you and it's given you some inspiration for when your club kits arrive. Now, if you loved any of these clubs and you want to start a subscription, be sure to do that today, because sometimes these subscriptions do run out of quantities and they aren't able to restock till the following month, and by then you can't sign up for a subscription. So be sure to do that today. Again, you can cancel at any time before your next club ships. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Be sure to hit the thumbs up, leave me a comment letting me know what you think, and subscribe so that you won't miss next month's Spellbinders Club Cards video. Thanks so much for joining me, and happy creating, friends.